What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Brennan. I'm BT17, and today we're coming at you with another video. We have our market analysis for the Digimon TCG like we do every week. It's a little bit late, but you know what they say, better late than never. We are doing it on Saturday this time, just due to the fact we were out camping, and I like to do these market analyses on the same day that they're done. That way they provide good value as the prices are current to what's going on that day. So I always try and do it on Friday. If I can't, for any reason, I'll move it to Saturday. And luckily enough, we were back for Saturday, so we have our market analysis for today. So we're going to go through these prices. We're going to look at things that have changed. I've been gone all week again, so I haven't really been paying attention to things. There is some new announcements that I'm going to be going through some hobby newses, so we'll see what happens in the future. But right now we're going to get into it. And hey, if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell for notifications so you miss a single minute of fun. Without further ado, let's get into it. We have starting again with the Gen Con Wormmon. This card really hasn't changed, and again, that's due to copies. We need more copies. I'm hoping they will announce that they're going to give this card out at Nationals, and they're going to give it out at maybe the Card Fest in Dallas or in the middle of September, because that'll put more cards into circulation, which will be really, really good. They did something like that with the VMon last year, which is why the price of the VMon was able to come down. So yeah, and right now this deck is really good, so people are trying to pick up these copies. So I'm hoping to see it go down, because I really don't want to pay, I paid $20 for the VMons, and the VMons are worth it. These are kind of worth it, but the VMons are good in so many different decks. So, I mean, yeah, not super looking to pay $40 for this. And honestly, right now, there's only one copy at $38, so you'd be paying $50. So we're limited to copies. It did come down really quickly once it came out. So I think if we get more copies, it'll come down again. So if you're an enthusiast, I'd say maybe hold off. Wait to see how it drops. If you really need to have them, I mean, there's only a few copies left. You're going to force a buyout, basically. Onto our campaign cards. They're kind of coming back up, actually. They dropped down to like the $30 range. And now I think, again, we're just limited to the amount of copies we have here. I mean, there's actually quite a bit. Well, not a terrible amount, but so yeah, so they've started to spike up. So if you got them when they got down to the $30 range, you got a good deal, because now they're going back up, probably in anticipation of the starter decks and EX7. Shumon, not so much. Shumon's kind of staying at that $30 range, but it's still holding. It's been holding there for a while now. But yeah, so you got lots of copies. The Terramon's more important. You got things like Galemon, it's coming back up, and Vortex Warriors. It's probably one of the most expensive top 4 Evolution Cup cards. So there's that too. Lots of copies though, and honestly, $10 isn't bad, especially it's a really nice looking card. I got the Shoto. That card is still, again, it's not bad. $9. It's come down quite a bit and saw a little bit of a jump there, but it's kind of sitting down at that $8-9 range. Again, there's a bunch of copies, so I don't think you ever have to worry about this going up. If you're looking for Vortex Warrior stuff, I would start picking some of this stuff up. Definitely try to wait on the Terramons, but this stuff's good. We're going to look at our aces from last set, see how they're doing. Shine Greymon's kind of holding at that $20 range. Started up at 50, went down pretty quickly to 30, and has been holding around 20 for a while now. Gallantmon, it was up at the $60 mark and went down to the $30 mark, and that's kind of where it's been holding for a while now, so this isn't a bad price to get this card at. Omnimon, again, was around 40, and it went down to 30, and it really hasn't gone anywhere since then. Which is funny, because I feel like this is a lot harder of a card to play than any of the other ones. So it's interesting. But yeah, it's staying around that $30 mark. Pretty much all, and then Imperial Dramon Palin mode is the MVP, of course, around $53. But I mean, hey, it was over $100. So you see like the $80 mark. But it was selling for like $150, $120. Luckily, I waited and got mine for a decent price. And yeah, now it's down to the $50 mark. Probably one of the best cards still in BT17 to get. But a lot of listings, so it won't go up quite as fast. So we have our ancient stuff. Again, just $20 for an ancient Greymon, which isn't bad at all. It went down quite a bit, and it's kind of holding around $20. This deck has just not seen as much tops as the blue hybrid deck, as you can see here with Ancient Garurumon. Still around, again, one of the next best cards, most profitable cards in the set, sitting around $54. It had a bit of a, it was lower actually, and then it spiked up around 65, 70 and kind of came back down, but it's still sitting at higher than what it started at. So good day for Ancient Garuru. Of course, we have the tamers that go along with those decks. Takuyas are not that bad. Well, the memory Takuya is the expensive one at $32. $18 for the new one, which you need like 2 or 3 copies of. The cheapest one is the box topper one, and it's only $4. Or unless you want the D scanner one, which is $210, just because they're so limited. I would have just rather bought the D scanner. Had a couple D scanners to get some copies. I don't know if you got only 1 copy of the card with it, or if you got like 1 copy of each. Because there is the Koji one, which is about half the price really. It's like $120, which is funny because this deck's doing way better now. $5 for the box topper, so even it's more expensive. $26 for Koji, which he was way up there at $40, so he's come down quite a bit. But again, both both really good cards for the deck. The fact is you don't have as many Kojis as you do Takuyas, because Takuya got an extra line of support in BT12. So we have Imperial Dramon Fighter mode. Again, the Imperial Dramon deck's doing quite good. We already covered the fact that it spiked up back from like $20 back to $31, and it's kind of staying there. It's been staying there for a while. Little climbs there, but just because the support for Imperial Dramon is so good, it's just been staying really high. You can see this in different trends like Davis and Ken, still up at $50 per copy. 45 to 50 is kind of your average here. It apparently did dip at one point, but it slowly climbed back up, and it's been staying there for a while. And then, of course, you have Pile Drum. Just look at that. Just the solid line. It's just like it's staying up there. And that's around the $40 to $45, $50 mark. It's saying 63, probably because there's no copies. This is like the last sold data. I hate that they changed this. I liked it before. There we go. Last sold. 75. Yeah, latest sales. That's more in line, 68. So yeah, it's been trending upwards consistently. So this is the most expensive card in the deck, and one of the best cards in the deck. We have things like the Gabumon, which is really good in the blue hybrid deck, so it's something that's been continuing to go up. You can see here it's starting to level off. Before it was around $18, now it's up at $26. Definitely a card to sell, right now while the Ancient Guru hype is here, because I don't know if it's going to stay in EX7. The deck's definitely probably going to change coming into BT18 with all the new hybrid stuff we're getting, so I'm not sure if that card's going to be played still. So we're also going to look at some of the banned cards. Look at the spike on this guy here. It's worth $1. So if you have a whole bunch of copies, you can maybe sell to people who got rid of theirs. Make a couple bucks. But definitely here, banless spike. It was 60 cents. Now it's $1.17, $1.20. But basically, it's you could probably sell this for $2 now. $1.50, something like that. So If you have some copies, I'd get them out. Uko's here. Uko's crashing as well because of the ban list here. See, $12. Average around 15. And that's because it's at 1. So people are trying to sell their extra copies now. Same with Louis. Louis actually's gone up a little bit. Like it kind of seen a bit of a spike and leveled off. Maybe because people are kind of like, well, now that I only have one Uko, maybe I'll play a Louis as well. You know, because on play you can move something from your breeding area, especially if it's Uko, then you can hatch. And you gain a memory. So it just kind of speeds up plays. So maybe now people are thinking, well, I should just play one Louis. So maybe now that they don't have the option of playing multiple Ukos, well, you have the BT17 Uko, but maybe they're thinking, well, maybe we should play one of this guy with our Uko package. And that could explain why it hasn't gone down. So I'm looking at 14, 15 bucks. Numemon. This card wasn't really expensive at all, but this is the pre-release version. This was the high rarity, technically. I don't really go for all that high rarity stuff, but it has, you can see it's come down here. It was up here. It's kind of come down a little bit. Now that this card is at 1-2. Another card from Numemon I was looking at was Valkyremon, because this was an important card in the deck. And it's kind of seen a dip here. You can see that here. It was around the $40 mark, staying at the 40, now it's kind of come down closer to the $30 mark, $33. So it's a pretty good card. And then we have TK, another card that was hit by the ban list. It's just like this mountain here, and it's like just falls off a cliff, right? You can see that right there. Closer, it's closer to like $16. Now we're seeing like $9 copies of TK. It's crashed because now this is at 1-2. Hammerspark, wherefore art thou? Hammerspark really hasn't changed. You look at that and there's a couple copies, 15, and then it jumps up to like $40. So this is because this is harder to find. This copy of the card is harder to find. So I mean, it'll still always be expensive, I think. It was from the first premium box kit that they ever did for the game. And then, of course, lastly, we have Awakening of the Golden Knight, which is like, it's very cheap, but you can see here too, it had a bit of a crash here. Of course, these cards aren't expensive because they're commons, 9 cents, but it was up there. It was up there around 22 cents, especially like you got the spikes when the deck came out, 20-30 cents. People could probably sell these for $1, right? Here, you want this, I'll sell you a playset for $1 each. When your Magnamon stuff came out, because people didn't have it, and then it was like, okay, well, sure. And now it's like you can't do that because it's like, oh, it's only one copy, it's only worth 9 cents. Well, it's going back in the binder. So again, that is how the game works. When things get hit, they're going to probably drop in price most of the time. We'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, the Hammerspark and the Louis were a bit of a outlier based on other hits and stuff like that, and based on availability of the card. So yeah, that is the market analysis, guys. That's all the prices we're going to look at today. As things get closer and closer to EX7, we're going to be starting looking at those EX7 cards. We're going to look at the cards that are relatable. We already kind of did that with the Galemon line. I wanted to kind of relate some information to you guys on, people are looking forward to the Vortex Warriors, so things are going to change pretty quickly. But anyways, looks like that's all the time we have for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we hope to see you in the next video. And as always, have a wonderful day. That's all for now, folks.